Hey, how's it going, guys? It's been a while since I last recorded an episode. I've been busy for a while, but I've just recently got some time to record again. So I figured I'd record some episodes of my playthrough and also work on some tutorials. So I've been uploading the fission reactor tutorial. Hopefully that's helping some people out because I know it's a very under-documented system. And I've been having fun recording that, and it's helped me learn some stuff as well. So hopefully it'll also help you guys. But yeah, in the meantime, since I last recorded an episode and uploaded one, I've not done too much, but I've just done some building and base maintenance. So you'll notice a couple of different things as we rock around, and I might forget everything that I've done. But some major things are mostly new buildings. There's two new buildings. So there's this one, and if you know how vanilla works, this is just a vanilla iron farm. Nothing too crazy. I didn't really think it was worth recording this because there's so many tutorials of how to build one of these, and there's nothing really too different about it. The only thing is I'm using Greg hoppers. Obviously, mass storage is here, and I also am using a spike from GregTech. That's a tungsten steel spike. If we look here, or if we just type in spike, that might be easier. There's a bunch of different kinds of spikes. I'm using a block spike because I think it's the only one that you can like point sideways to my knowledge. And there's different kinds that affect different entities with different damage. But the tungsten steel one does damage to everything, and it does a lot of damage. So it's pretty good for this because it removes the iron golems, I think, much quicker than lava will. And you're able to put this at a level that's a little higher so that the golems take damage at their head height and all of the items flow down. Whereas with the lava method, I think sometimes the items get destroyed by the lava. So this kind of just facilitates a little bit of an easier collection of the items and you get the max efficiency that you can. And because it kills them quicker, they spawn a little quicker. But I've had a little issue where the golems will sometimes spawn outside of the farm. So I've just been kind of grabbing them with a portal gun and throwing them back in. Not really sure why they're allowed to because I put like glass, which they're not supposed to be able to spawn on as far as I know, but I don't know. It happens sometimes, but for the most part it works, and I've just been using this to collect iron because honestly I really hate mining hematite and I don't want to go and collect black sand, so it's just a little easier. And also my other iron generation methods aren't great. You know, the hematite that I am getting from my mining drill isn't very high, and the little system I set up over here is fine for small quantities of iron, but it's not quick enough. I will upgrade this actually pretty soon. I want to have an automated system to get iron from the different basalts that I have because I have quite a bit, and I'll power it with a nuclear reactor, which I think is a little cooler. So that way we'll have, plenty of iron coming in, and I'll probably be able to beat the efficiency of that iron farm. And also I want to make a system to automatically do the electrolysis path for aluminum. I think, I don't remember which one it is. I think you can electrolyze sand or something, or maybe quartz. I don't remember. Maybe it's clay. I think it's probably clay. So I'll have those systems powered by reactors because I just think it's cooler. That way we can have infinite amounts of other materials. But yeah, not too much different here. Um, oh, I actually did separate out some of my inputs. So now I have a filter here, and I keep having to update this because it's occasionally getting new stuff. So what I have here is a filter for ores that I do want to go through the normal processing chain here. But I have some ores that I would prefer to get like way more material from. Like the platinum ores, because I'm gonna come up very shortly on fusion, and I don't have enough material generated for that yet. I have a good amount of iridium, but this is gonna very easily get drained. If you look at the fusion reactor requirements, it requires 144 iridium coils, and I think that ends up equivalent to like 2,000 something iridium, maybe more. So obviously I have a ways to go still. So what I ended up doing was just setting a filter on my bedrock drill ore input, and then I'm gonna like siphon off all of the platinum ore so that I can use my boomsticks on them. That way I at least get a little bit more, so that my throughput will be better. But I'll probably still have to mine in the meantime, so we'll see. Whenever I feel like getting into fusion, we'll just, I'll have the materials off screen and then I'll come back with them on. But yeah, anyway, off screen, since last time, I also built some materials to start the large matter fabricator. And I put all of my stuff that I need to construct it into the shulker box, and I just threw some extra building materials just in case. So you'll see I have the osmium coil, I have the actual matter fabricator here, which required 8 compact force field emitters of IV tier, and all of those require nether stars. So you can imagine this took a long time to farm for because, 8 nether stars is quite a bit. And then, just the lead as well wasn't great to get. I ended up having to process a lot of galena, and then I just used that because my system here as well with a large centrifuge wasn't generating enough lead. And, just the quantity of lead that was needed was just ridiculous. So I was able to craft all of those. I crafted the quad core processors, the red and the ruby and the sapphire ones rather. And then I also made the versatile one, not too complicated. It's stuff we've already made before, really. So I made those. I made the ventilation units for it. Again, nothing too crazy here. We've made all this stuff before. But the next thing I'll want to make is a tier 5 quantum energizer. So I got 2 more compact force field emitters, and I also made the signal and sensor guys to make this. So what we do is we're going to put these guys here, put this like that, and make the tier 5 guy. Now is it like this? Yeah. So now we have a tier 5 quantum energizer. And to power this, we're going to need an IV transformer. So an EV to IV transformer. And we're going to need a laser emitter, or it's a CO2 laser rather. So we're going to need, I think it's going to be an IV CO2 laser, yep. So we're going to end up putting in 8192 EU per tick, and we're going to get 4096 laser units. And then those laser units will end up converting into 2048 quantum units. So it's a little bit better than, I guess, the way we've been doing it. I guess with the single block one. And also we can hook up the other ones if we want to, because the large matter fabricator will also take any kind of quantum unit. It can be of any tier. It's a very unique machine in that regard. So it's pretty useful if you want to just keep hooking up more and more. And, it doesn't matter what tier they are. So it's pretty nice. But I will start off with this tier 5 one just so that we can, maximize how much we're getting. But yeah, let's make a IV CO2 laser. So we're going to need a bunch of these gas cylinders. So let's get these guys. And I am playing on my laptop actually and connected to a server that I'm hosting because I'm not near my main PC right now. So if you notice any lag or anything, just excuse it. It's because I'm not at home right now. Let me see. So we need this guy, and I think we need a wire cutter if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Hopefully I already have enough material already generated for this. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's that. Fortunately, we had enough already saved up. Put these guys here. What else do we need? I think we're probably going to need titanium machine casing, which is not a problem. So we'll get 2 of these guys, and we'll get 6 plates. What else? We need some circuits. Actually, it looks like you can use tier 5, and we need a platinum cable. So we'll get platinum cables. Circuits. Do I make tier 5 circuits? I don't think I do because I think they're a waste of resources. So let's just get 2 tier 6. And then we'll make the machine casing. Oh, oops, other way around. What am I doing? It's like this. Nope. Wait, am I crazy? Or is it like that? There we go. Titanium machine casing, and then let me fill up my CO2 canisters here. So we'll get these guys. Oh wait, this isn't the right one. It's this one. So we need 5 of those guys, platinum cable, titanium machine casing, and then the circuits. So we're good. Oh yeah, and another thing you guys might notice is I don't have connected glass textures anymore. And that's because I switched off of Optifine and I'm now using Angelica, which is like a sodium backport for 1.7. So if you notice any artifacts or anything, that's also why that's happening. But it does seem to give a little bit better performance, which is greatly appreciated on my laptop. So that's good. And then we just need a transformer. Oops. Let's see, where is the EV to IV? There we go. So we need chromium, iron, and annealed copper. That's not a problem. So iron plate, and we need 4 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have chromium plates? We do. Or is it? There we go. I wasn't sure if it was a dense machine casing. I don't think it is. And then we need annealed copper. So we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn one of these guys into a 4 times cable. And then we will hammer out our iron plates. 1, 2. And we will make our chromium machine casing. I don't know why I keep doing that. There we go. And we'll make our transformer. And we need a wire cutter. There we go. So EV to IV transformer, and I think we're good. So we should have everything in our shulker box. This stuff I don't need. Yeah, we're good. Or, whoops, wrong way around for these guys. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, I also made a little backpack from Project Red just because I hated having to like go between different things to get my items. So now I have a little handheld backpack for easy access. So let's go over here, and you might notice as we get closer to the reactor that I have done a little bit of building here. Now, ignore this very poorly done radiation symbol. I'm trying my best to make it look good. I think I need to kind of raise that side a little bit, but you know, work in progress here. But I did try my best to make the building a little more aesthetically pleasing, and I'm just trying some different building materials and kind of looks, but hopefully it's a little easier on the eyes. I know the glass is kind of an eyesore without connected textures. There's not too much I can do about that. Maybe I'll replace this eventually with solid blocks once I stop using solar panels, but we'll see. But yeah, let's get started. So I've already marked out an area to build the large matter fabricator. Let me just put my shulker box here. And I've already chunk loaded this area just to make sure. So the way you build this is with the main unit here. And we're going to put an activity detector on here. That way we can know when he's ready to run. And we'll get the lead walls out. 2. And we'll need the ventilation units and the processors and the coils. So to build this, you make 1 layer of these dense lead walls. So we'll fill up this area here. Then you need to start building with the osmium coils like this. So you just build a 3x3 with it essentially. Like this. But I think it needs to be hollow in the center from what I remember. Let me just double check. Large matter fabricator. 5x5 ring, 3x3 hollow. Yeah, so you can see here it says 3x3x3 hollow with 26 osmium coils inside the 5x5x5. So that's why you have to leave 1 in the center. But then we'll fill up the rest with our lead. Oops. Do that. And whoops. Well, I should just go up 2 layers. Why not? So it's a pretty big multi-block. I think the biggest one we've built so far, actually, even compared to the steam turbine. And I think we need to completely cover this guy. So 1 more layer. Oh, there we go. And then the ventilation units go around the outside like this. And like that. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys, you don't have to do any specific kind of pattern. I just like doing it this way because it's a little more visually appealing. But that should be it. And then we can use our magnifying glass to check. Structure is formed, so we're good. So that's the large matter fabricator built. And now we can start hooking up our energy for it. So we'll put the quantum energizer here. And you can input power for this on any side, so you don't have to worry too much, and you can put it at any level, I believe. I don't want to speak incorrectly. So stuff can go in and out on any of the dense lead walls. So yeah, you can extract and you can emit, or sorry, you can input and output on any of the lead walls. So you don't have to put it in anywhere specific. But I think what I'm going to do is actually run a platinum cable from over here. Actually, I was testing a little a redstone circuit here so that I could check the status of my batteries, because ideally what I want to happen is for these batteries to be prioritized. So if they're, like halfway, oh shit, a repeater is not going to be the ideal way of doing this, is it? I'm just realizing, because this is going to set it to 15. Let me just verify that. Redstone. And if I get my wire cutter, I think I might just be really dumb and I was putting 15 into that. Yeah, okay. That doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, let me get rid of this repeater. You just break with a hand, I guess. So yeah, essentially what I want is for this battery box to be prioritized before we allow this guy to run, and then we want it to run anytime it's above like half. That way there's always power for the main base. But we'll see. I'll have to kind of work with that a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. But let's hook up our quantum energizer. So that guy's there. And let me just double check. I want to make sure we have the right energy levels. So our minimum is 4096 laser units, and we can emit 4096 laser units. So that's good. And we need 8192 EU per tick to transform into that. So that should be fine. I think we're more than capable of generating that. Hopefully nothing goes too wrong here. So the laser guy is going to go here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some redstone machine switches on this guy. That way, if this guy can run, then we'll allow him to run. But obviously, if he's not capable of running, we really don't want to use our energy. So that's going to be our first control scheme. And we'll have another set of controls on this that'll either allow it or prevent it, depending on the energy level over here. But for now, we'll just do this very basic one. Another thing I want to do, I think I only need an interface to do this, is to input tin dust, because tin is our most abundant material. So let's get tin dust, and we will just get a stack of it. And what we'll do is run a cable, and I'll just put it above head height, like that. And we will say to bring him over here. Come on. Like that, and then we'll have an interface, and he should gain a channel momentarily. Device missing channel, come on. There you go. Device online, and then we'll have it output into, how do you do this? There's a specific way of configuring these things, and I can never get it right. There we go. So now it'll input stuff into the large matter fabricator if we tell it to stock items. Oh, that just put it back in the system. Whoops. Let's get the tin dust back, and then we'll put this in the stock area here. So it'll always stock a stack of tin, and I guess it doesn't automatically input, which I was hoping for. That's okay. So we'll just put a hopper here, and then we'll allow it to do it that way, and then we'll just turn this guy down. There we go. So now the hopper will always allow this guy to be filled with a stack of tin, which is good. And I think this guy can actually process a stack at a time. Let's see. Yeah, 64 process per run. So it'll consume an entire stack of tin and then convert it into the large, and rather the neutral and positive matter. And for those guys, I already have some pipes. I already set them up. So one of these guys has a pump on it. Yeah, it's this guy. So I will put them up here at the top level, I think. That way I can like run them around. Otherwise, I'll put them down. It doesn't really matter. I can always move them. So the pump is there. And this guy is a whitelist for charge matter. This guy is a whitelist for neutral. And they're connected. So we'll get our little drums. This one has some neutral matter. This guy has some charge matter. And you are for charged. So we'll put charge matter here. Oops. And neutral matter here. So our drums are set up. I think we're good, actually. We just need to hook up the cables. I'm going to err on the side of caution with these cables just because I don't want to have any problems. Platinum cable. Oh, we're going to have to cover these with rubber, aren't we? Oh man, I'll have to go use my laminator. It's a bit rough. But yeah, actually, in the meantime, I've actually accumulated quite a bit of charge in neutral matter because I was just letting it run in the background when I was building and stuff. And I also was able to actually deplete a couple of plutonium rods, and I was able to breed some of the Naquita rods. So maybe after this, we'll start to work with Naquadria, or rather not Naquadria, what is it called? Enriched Naquita, I believe is what it is. And please excuse the visual defects here while my server catches up. Whoops. That's actually my connection to the server. There we go. And let's use the laminator. And do I have a lighter? I do. So we will laminate these guys. I really should just set this up on like an electric heater. I definitely want to electrify the base just across the board because so many of my things are really inconvenient to use at this point with burning boxes and everything. So it would just be more convenient, I think, to electrify as much as possible. Okay, nope, we're going this way. Nope. And it lagged me out a little bit. And I also need to set up some kind of system in order to like bring me over to here. I think I'll just set up like a minecart system that's a little bit faster than walking at least, because it sucks to have to run from the portal over to here. But that's another thing on the backlog that I need to do. So we'll set this guy. Let's just do this. Oh, I don't know if I don't think I did this on the last episode, but another thing I did was I set up two transformers here, which may not make sense if you just look at it like on the surface here, because it's like, oh, I'm just transforming up and then transforming down. But what this actually does is it allows me to capture the next tier of energy band. So because this reactor doesn't like generate a stable amount of power, and you know the rotation units are going to go up and down, and therefore the EU is going to go up and down. So this ends up crossing two energy bands. It crosses from EV into IV. So what I was doing before is I was actually only capturing one portion of the energy band. I wasn't capturing the IV. I think I was only getting the EV, or I don't know which one it was. It was either one or the other. But this, because I'm transforming up, I actually am able to capture both the EV and the IV band, and then it just combines the total into like one packet of IV, and then it puts it into this transformer, which transforms it back down into EV, and then it puts it into here as normal. But this actually means I can capture the entirety of my energy. I'm not wasting any of it. So I'm really happy with that system. I'm glad I figured that out, because otherwise I was wasting a bunch of my power. I mean, to be fair, I've also filled up these batteries and still let the reactor run anyway, so I was wasting it regardless. But, you know, when I actually need the power, I won't be wasting it. But let's see. Do I want to run this up or down? I might actually move this guy up too, because I would prefer to just run the cables over top. That way well, I think either way it should be okay, but I'll still move this guy up one because he's a little in my way. I don't like looking at it at that level. So let me just hook up that. There we go. Wait, no. Like that. I hate working with these cables because they don't automatically come back to your inventory when you break them with a drill. I don't know if there's any tool that allows you to just automatically collect them. And I don't have a mod that has a what is it called, a magnet bauble or anything. I wish there was just like a standalone magnet bauble mod. I think there are some for the newer versions, but not for this one. I would also love one that just lets me have a jetpack as my as a bauble, just because whenever I'm using my radiation hazard suit, I am stuck like with very low mobility, which is very annoying. But yeah, just minor complaints. I guess we'll just do it this way. So we'll hook up this platinum cable, and this once again is an amperage of 8, and it's IV, so it's more than enough. I don't think we'll ever get more than 8 amps of IV. Let's put this guy here, and we will hook this guy up like that. There we go. And the moment of truth is going to be with the transformer. So I just want to make sure, yeah, this guy is an IV laser. This is an EV to IV transformer. So if I hook this guy up like that, he should be good. And I think, are you, no, you're not. No. I'm trying to get that very tiny corner there. No, okay. We'll just hook it up like that. There we go. So now that should be set up for IV. The big face is on the bottom, so that means it transforms towards that way. And then we'll hook this guy up right here. And actually, how many amps are going through here? There's only 6 batteries, so there can only be 6 amps maximum anyway. So we'll reverse this guy, we'll transform up. And then this guy should be running. And if we look in here, there's a little bit of progress being made. And if we take the scanner, we can see it actually is contributing quite a bit of progress. So it's, I don't know what the rate of this is. It's probably a couple thousand, or actually, I think multiple tens of thousands actually every tick. So we're making a lot more progress. And keep in mind, this is actually doing 64 tin dust at once. So it's pretty damn good for that method. It's much better than how we were doing it before. And we're only having to do this with 1 laser and 1 energizer. And if we really wanted to, you know, if we have excess power to spare, we'll just be able to hook up the other quantum energizers. So I'll leave them here. Actually, you know what I'll do is put the batteries here. That way we can at least max out this cable if it ever has 8 amps on it. It looks, is this guy running? Yeah, he's running. I just can't see the corner of that thing where the indicator is. So yeah, this is the large matter fabricator all done. And it wasn't too bad actually, because we mostly had all the materials already and, you know, we had the power system set up. I'll just have to see how much power is actually being drained by this. Let's see, I saw that go down. It looks like it is depleting fairly quickly. Which isn't a huge deal. I'm just trying to see like what that rate is. You know, we'll control this so that it kind of runs on and off. Ideally, I want to have a system to like monitor this. What's the edge of the chunk actually? It's right here. So what I could do is grab this guy from the other side. So I have an energy meter sensor thing. Where did it go? There it is, energy sensor. So that guy's there. You can see he emits energy, or he emits redstone based on how much energy is in there. And if we take red alloy wire, what we can do is have another redstone machine switch on this guy. So he should turn off in a second. Yeah, so that guy's off. And also this guy doesn't ever lose progress as long as you don't break the block, which is really, really nice about this, this multi-block. That's why it's my preferred method, ideally, if you can afford to do it. So yeah, it never loses progress, which is really nice as long as you leave it there. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll set up a system that will compare our energy level from here. So we'll put it like here. And actually, why don't we just hook it up on the other side? Why are you, oh, it's not a wire cutter, that's why. This is the wire cutter, and we'll put the redstone machine switch here. That way everything is kind of like off on the side. Now you shouldn't be allowed to run. Why are you running? Or did it just get a little burst of power? That's strange. I don't know. That shouldn't be allowed to run. I'm not sure why it's running. But what we'll do is we'll run the redstone from here over to this guy. So we'll get this. Oh, why are you running? You really shouldn't be allowed to. Maybe I need an AND gate. And gate. I have some extras, fortunately. And I'll get a redstone torch. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here. That's okay. So what we'll do is we'll put an AND gate here, not like that. So you will AND like this. So that's the one input. We'll have a redstone torch here. That's the other input. Yeah, that's okay. And then we'll have the red alloy here as the other input. So you will take you off. And then we'll have the comparator like this. So we'll put you here and connect that guy there. Or actually, you know what? Even better. I'm just trying to save as much space as possible to make a nice clean build. So we'll have this in subtraction mode. And then we will have you, or you know what? We are also going to need to invert this, I believe. Let me get another redstone torch. Or no, actually, we'll see. This is a live test of this thought process, so it may be completely ridiculous. But I think it should work out. We'll see. So let me just double check. So you're going to still output the same level of redstone, right? Where's my wire cutter? Why are you 0? You shouldn't be 0. Did that really drain from 12? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's no way. Did I not hook this up? You're hooked up. And you're hooked up. Oh my god. I don't know why. It just doesn't like this. Let me see. But let me put it here. So this now. Okay, so now you have a power of 11. That's still fine, I think. So what we'll do is we'll subtract this guy. And we'll put him there. Or you know what? It's just better to put this in the back, I think. That way we have this kind of area clear. So this should be fine. So whatever you are, and we'll just get a redstone. So this is 11, and we will subtract some level from this. I just need to remember how this works, how you configure this. So now it's a switch, and I think signal strength of, we'll do 8. So we'll set it to 8. Now he's a switch, so now this guy should subtract 8 from whatever comes in. And of course he is not. And why? I don't know why. Maybe if I put, oops, I put this guy here, and then I put this guy here, and then hook up this with the wire, and set this back to switch mode. I think it should subtract 8. There we go. So now this is 3. So essentially what we're going to do is we're always going to be subtracting 8 because of this guy. He set the signal strength 8. So whatever gets sent to the back will be the first number. So it'll be, I guess in this case, 11. And so we're subtracting 8 from 11. So we're having 3. And that's still fine. We can still run with that. But if we were to go down to 8, for example, which would be about halfway full on this, then we'll be subtracting 8 from that and we'll get a redstone strength of 0. So that will not allow this to run anymore. So that should be good. And actually, if I really wanted to, I could just use a block here. I don't even need to have all this set up, but that's fine. We'll just leave it like this. But yeah, I think this is pretty much fully automated. The only other thing I might do is just put a repeater yeah, I might put a repeater here and put the comparator right here. That way there's no like rapid fluctuations of power, because I don't want to spam render this chunk because I'm already not performing very well. So we'll put the comparator here instead, and we'll put the, oh shit, that's not gonna work, is it? Well, I can still make it work. Hold on. where did I put that comparator? There it is. So this guy's here, and instead of putting this wire here, we'll put it there. And then we'll compare, so we'll subtract. And then instead of having that there, we'll have redstone, so that's 3. So as long as this is able to work, then we'll allow the repeater to work. And we'll put him on 128 ticks, which I believe is the maximum. And we'll put 256. That way there's no rapid power fluctuations. So yeah, this will control this without any rapid fluctuations. And as long as we have enough power, we will allow it to run. If there's not enough power, it'll turn off, but we'll still keep our progress. So there's no worries there. But at least now I'm not going to ever waste power, because before I was just filling up these batteries, and when they were full and I was still running the reactor, it was just wasting the energy. So yeah, this is a little bit of an upgrade to this system. Something else I might do in a little while is change the configuration of the reactor, because right now I'm actually wasting some of the power that's coming out of it. So because I'm using molten sodium in the reactor cores that have the breeder rods, I'm actually getting 1/3 of a heat unit per neutron instead of the full 1-to-1 conversion. And because I don't need that molten sodium to actually do anything to these breeder rods, because they don't actually interact, it would be better for me to use the distilled water just directly and then pipe that straight to the turbine here. And it's a pretty easy upgrade. I might do it off screen, I might do it on screen. We'll see. Probably worth recording that just because it's an interesting kind of system. But yeah, that's one thing I want to do. Another thing is I'll end up building another reactor, and I will use enriched naquita. So you can see here, I have allowed this to run for a while, and I fill this guy up with a bunch of, well, the breeder rods are already filled in the system, but I have plutonium fuel rods here so that this can run indefinitely. And I've depleted a couple of them, not too many of them. So you'll see I have some naquita dust here. Where did I even get this? What did I centrifuge to get this? I don't even remember. Is that what this is from? Yeah, it's from this. So I guess you also get naquita back from that. But essentially what we really want is that enriched naquita dust, and I put it here. So with this stuff, we can actually start to make the naquita fuel rods, and I actually have 2 more that I can process. I just wanted to leave a couple, one for the filter and then one to demonstrate that I actually got them. So we'll centrifuge these guys, and I upgraded the centrifuge to titanium because you need to for the enriched naquita. And now I need to extrude these guys into rods. So we'll put these here, and what we'll actually do is get some more item pipes. So item pipe, and we will connect that guy like that. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that's dumb of me. There we go. So now this guy, whenever he fills with enriched naquita, he will automatically extrude more rods. And did you put your stuff in here? Yeah. I don't think it went over here. Wait, did it? Oh, it must, because I didn't do this, that's why. So let's put this back over here. And if we end up getting an extra one, yep. So we got an extra dust, so we'll get an extra set of rods. And then we can use these enriched naquita rods to actually make fuel rods. So if we put them into a canning machine, we'll get some fuel rods. So let's do that. I have a lot of extra reactor rods now, just because I went out and got some zirconium. We'll just put these here. And we now have enriched naquita fuel rods. Now, these are essentially the same as plutonium. The only difference is their lifespan, I believe, is a little bit higher. They last, 100,000 minutes as opposed to plutonium, which I think is 20,000. We can just check here. Yeah, plutonium has a lifespan of 20,000 minutes. So these guys last 100,000 minutes. And I think that converts to, I don't even know how much that converts to. Let me just check. 100,000. That's a million divided by 60. So that's 1,666 real life hours for these rods. The only downside of enriched naquita is that it has a factor of 1/3. Or no, sorry, it has a factor of 1/4 by default. So unlike plutonium, it will only allow us to breed 1 rod at a time if we put it in the molten salt. So that's sort of one of the downsides. But on the upside, it will pretty much just breed that rod more efficiently because it will emit more neutrons and it'll just breed it faster. So all in all, not too bad. I might still keep this reactor running and just make a second one. That way we get even more power, and then we can run this guy a little bit faster. Because ideally what I want to do is have a very, not like super fast system here, but fast enough that we can kind of on demand get our materials that we want. Ideally for like adamantium and maybe even iridium if I want to matter fabricate that, because you know they're pretty expensive. If you look at adamantium, for example, the ingot, if we look at the matter replicator, it costs 222 charge matter and 580 neutral matter. Not cheap. And then I think iridium costs a little bit less than that, but still it's not cheap to make. So ideally, we want to be able to, get that as quickly as possible. So I'll try to run this at the highest efficiency that I can. So that's why I also want to switch out that water because it'll allow us to get much more power out of this. But we'll see. Sort of future plans. Definitely want to start working towards fusion. We'll actually be able to use our breeder reactors to work towards fusion if we want to. You can make, I think it's, what is it, tritium that you can make from the fusion reactor. So you breed a lithium rod into a tritium rod, although I don't have solid lithium, so maybe I won't do that. But we'll definitely start using more small reactors to power things because it's just so much more efficient, I guess, in terms of like the build size and the infrastructure cost to run stuff just straight off of nuclear. So I'll probably do that for a bunch of the centrifuges that I'll need to run for fission, or rather for fusion. But what I'm really going to be working towards is vibranium, which requires you to go through a couple of other fusion tiers. And I'm not going to build multiple fusion reactors because that is just like a colossal waste of time and resources, and I just have no interest in doing it. I only need to get one vibranium dust, and then I can matter fabricate that if I turn it into an ingot. I just want to double check that that's not incorrect. Vibranium dust. Come on. Is there an ingot? I could have sworn. Oh, yeah, you just get vibranium. So, yeah, you teach your matter replicator to make vibranium, and then, you can just make it like this. So I'll scan my first vibranium, and then I'll use it to get vibranium. Is it vibranium steel that I want? I think I want vibramantium. Definitely vibranium steel as well. So yeah, that's what I'm ultimately working towards. But you can see this requires quite a bit, 16 million GU, which is actually laser units in this case because fusion requires laser units. You do get power out of it, so it's not too bad. But, or sorry, this is gain. I was actually incorrect. The power required to start the fusion reactor is 12 billion laser units for this reaction. And then you have to go through a previous reaction. I mean, first of all, you need to have an adamantium for it, but you also need to have beryllium-7, which is only gotten from the fusion reactor as far as I know. And then we need to have lithium-6 to get that beryllium, and you only get a little bit when you run this lithium-6, and I think likewise you only get a little bit of beryllium when you run the previous reaction. To get lithium-6, I think you have to process some kind of lithium ore. So I'll have to find that lithium ore. I'll just run around here, I guess, and then find it randomly. But yeah, that's what my next goal is. But yeah, for now, I'll cut this episode off. We finished off what is this called? The large matter fabricator. In the next episode, I will try to upgrade the reactor, and then we'll start to work on higher tiers of reactors, and we'll also start to work towards fusion. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.